What is next for the Lakers? We heard it all day, every day. Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Superman, Lakers in 5, something else, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5, Lakers in 5. We heard it all. We heard it for weeks on weeks on weeks. But now, in reality, after the series, it turned out to be Timberwolves in 5, an eye-opening outcome for many NBA fans, especially Lakers fans. Now we are left wondering and looking at what went wrong for LA. Ahead of the series, we thought Rudy Gobert was unplayable. He turned out to be the one to send the Lakers home. Roasting Julius Randle for not having success in the past backfired. The supporting cast of Minnesota was thought to not be good enough early, yet that supporting cast burned you all series. Then Anthony Edwards, a game plan designed around stopping him, failed miserably until Game 5, which meant nothing as Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert dominated the team. Uncomfortable conversations need to be had because even with a center, the Lakers' defense would be terrible as constructed, as they have 3 players starting who cannot hold their own consistently, and even worse, show no effort on the defensive end of the floor. As I said, there are some uncomfortable conversations that need to be had. I understand the Lakers are designed for the future now. The reason they made the Luka trade was for the future. But at the same time, you have Luka Doncic in his prime and LeBron James on your roster. Yeah. Losing in the first round is unacceptable. I don't care. I really don't care what you're designed for. You have Luka Doncic and LeBron James, 2 top 10 players in the league, and you got sent home in the first round. Not even winning 2 games. You lost in 5 to a team that was the 6th seed while you were the 3 seed. I know Minnesota didn't play like a 6th seed, but damn. 5 games? Anyways, let's talk about what went wrong for the Lakers, what they need to do this offseason. And yeah, let's celebrate the fact the Lakers are not winning the title this year. Luka Doncic was exposed defensively all series long. Sure, he was sick and had an injury during Game 5, but even if it weren't for that, we know Luka, and we know he would not have shown up on that end of the floor. All his mistakes are silly and lazy on that end, causing him to give up so many points. Actually, it is just a lack of effort and a task to preserve energy on offense. As he is so ball dominant, it is draining to play both sides of the floor. So he just chooses to play offense, and the defense suffers a lot because of that. We saw exactly why Nico Harrison traded the superstar, although that trade is still stupid to this day, don't get me wrong. As for LeBron James, I was really disappointed in your fourth quarter performances along with the lack of aggression he played with all series. He had one dominant game, and in the others he had moments of greatness, but he never showcased himself as one of the greatest like he is. Age can't be an excuse when it is used to hype him up so much. From my perspective, it looked like he was just simply over it and bored during moments of the series, especially in games 4 and 5. It was something I haven't ever seen from him, which made me really open my eyes. This is exactly why I am starting to actually entertain the possibility of him retiring this offseason, as he did not look like he loved basketball in this series, which is crazy. He could return, and if the Lakers make the right moves this offseason, well, I believe they will be dangerous. But the falling has to happen, though, since what just happened was unacceptable. And obviously, I'm going to keep saying it so my words don't get mixed. All right? The Lakers are designed for the future. The Luka Doncic trade was for the future. This does not take away from what just happened. They lost in the first round with Luka Doncic and LeBron James on their team. It's inexcusable. Make it to the second round, make it to the conference finals, cool. No one's saying you had to win a championship year 1, but to lose in 5 games with those 2 players is ridiculous. But anyways, this is what needs to happen for the Lakers this offseason. Austin Reeves, he is a cone. He tries hard on that end, but still somehow manages to be worse than Luka. Make it make sense. He can't do anything on the interior, and on the perimeter he has slow feet, horrible anticipation skills, and jumps for every pump fake thrown. After averaging 20 in the regular season, he was looked upon as the best third option in the NBA. We saw how quickly that changed, however, as he couldn't shoot or create anything in the playoffs, despite having 2 of the best facilitators and attention-demanding players in the league. So obviously, it's much easier to play off of 2 players like that if they're going to draw so much attention. It couldn't possibly get any easier for him, yet he didn't perform. He needs the ball in his hand to thrive, as we saw in the regular season. The role change caused this disaster of a performance for Reeves. Coming into the playoffs, he was seen as the team's most important player, and after the series, that claim was very much true, as he flopped and the team did as well. His value is still pretty high right now, though, considering how he just averaged 20 and can be a lead guard in this league. He must be traded regardless of the LeBron status, though. Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic cannot play together, and understanding that is understanding why the deal needs to happen. Both are too ball dominant and too bad on defense for it to work out. I see 4 possible destinations for Austin Reeves in Detroit, Orlando, Brooklyn, and even Houston. Ultimately, knowing how the Magic need a true lead guard and shooting to the worst extent, I believe Austin Reeves is traded to the Magic this offseason and a great move for Orlando. In any trade, though, the Lakers need to land them a center who is affordable, can defend, and isn't a liability offensively. Notice how I say affordable, since you have to construct a team around your superstar players, because that was one of the bigger issues. Depth was so bad, but we're going to talk about that in a second. As for the center options, the realistic options in my eyes are Wendell Carter Jr. of the Magic, Mark Williams of the Hornets, no joke intended, Jakob Poeltl of the Raptors, Nick Claxton of the Nets, and Robert Williams of the Portland Trailblazers. I also like the idea of finessing in the draft and trading up to select Kaman Magwatch, a center from Duke. In all trade scenarios, Austin Reeves could be dealt, making it a no-brainer that Reeves should be dealt for the center the Lakers land, since that's the best way to retain most of your depth, by just trading a young player like Reeves that has a lot of value. The depth of this team was also really bothersome to me watching the Lakers, as they only trusted 6 players. Rui Hachimura, shout out to him, he was amazing in the playoffs. Dorian Finney-Smith, who was added mid-season, was pretty good for the team, and Jared Vanderbilt, who was the lockdown defender he has been for years now. Outside of Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, and those 3 players, the Lakers just had unreliable pieces. There aren't many trade options to land depth to fix these issues, as the Lakers, likewise the Knicks for example, need depth over everything. You can't have a 40-year-old LeBron playing a full 48, and you can't have Luka playing the entire game either. The team was overplaying them early, causing them to burn out in the 4th, which is the quarter that the Lakers underperformed in so badly, it caused them to lose games in the series that were very much winnable, and in some cases, they should have won. There's no avoiding that. The 4th quarter was so bad, and it all can trace back to how many minutes their stars and the entire team had to play early in the game. It's called burnout. The depth of Minnesota caused the Lakers to burn out early in games, and that's why the 4th quarter was dominated by the Timberwolves in every game. Adding depth is the one thing about the Lakers that really worries me, since the Lakers need to add young depth they can rely on, as the old depth method they've been using does not work. They need young and hungry players, not veteran role players who have already proven themselves. All of these flops in free agency, likewise to Gabe Vincent, have been proven veteran players that already proved themselves in a prior situation. Also to note, these players cannot be like a Cam Reddish who has bounced around many times. They need their Lonnie Walker from 2 years ago, a Bruce Brown, anyone who has not been in the spotlight and is looking to prove themselves as a two-way player who plays physical defense and can somewhat shoot, as well as moving on and off the ball. It is a problem when only 3 people bring physicality and energy in the playoffs, like we just saw against Minnesota. So when you're considering what depth to add, don't go for the high-priced Miami free agents that shined in the grit and grind system like Gabe Vincent did. Go out and get some players that you actually think can fit their system. Don't go for the name, go for the system fit. You need long, lengthy wings that can shoot the ball. Everyone needs those, so you got to find diamond in the roughs. This is a really big time for the Lakers scouting department to get it done right, because they can't just add people based off their names. They've been doing that too much. Flashback a few years ago, that's what they did when they brought in Wayne Ellington and all these other players that had the name, but they were out of their prime. Gabe Vincent had the name. That's why you ended up paying him 33 for 3, and now he's a bust. It's because he had the name. So remember this, because I don't want to see no Brook Lopez deals, no superstar deals, but I do need to see moves because the Lakers roster looks pathetic right now. So add depth smartly. Don't just pay because you think these players are good. Sure, the players might be good, but if they don't fit what you're trying to do, don't add them, since that's a clear issue the Lakers have made in free agency in the past and in the offseason. On the complete other hand, the last thing I want to talk about is the direction of the team. LeBron returning is not a guarantee, free agents returning is never a guarantee, and the team does not have any draft picks to make moves, no financial flexibility, and could be stuck in mediocrity right now. What happens if they elect to rebuild completely around Luka? That's a big question, since that would mean Reeves is gone, LeBron is most likely gone, Jared Vanderbilt is gone, Rui Hachimura is gone, Gabe Vincent is gone, among all the others who are not named Luka Doncic and Dorian Finney-Smith, because all the other players have somewhat decent trade value, especially Hachimura and Vanderbilt. So those are guys you're going to have to get assets for in order to build for your full youth movement around Luka. A full youth movement is going to be underway with a clear emphasis on landing draft capital and young talent around their superstar. This is honestly the best direction for LA to take, as even with a big being added, I'm not sure the team's problems will be solved, and they could be looking at a repeated failure. Mind you, Minnesota was the 6th seed for a reason, and we're a very favorable matchup for LA. Denver would have been difficult, the Clippers are difficult, Houston can be bothersome, and OKC would still beat them. With teams like the Warriors being competitive to them as well, and the Rockets knowingly being aggressive in the offseason to correct their flaws, there will be at worst 3 teams who will have no problems with LA simply because of their depth and youth. Then you have another 3 who are right there with the Lakers after the offseason. LA can only add 1 true center and would potentially be looking at no depth after the trade, as a center is going to cost you. I firmly believe that the Lakers have to restructure their roster completely and look towards the future rather than the present, because their conference is only getting better and the team has maximized what they can do with a fully constructed roster. Luka is now the face of the Los Angeles Lakers. You agreed to the trade because of how generational he is, but also since the future had so many questions in the air. You have the centerpiece to the future, and now you must build around that for the future in order to thrive long term. But the Lakers might end up landing Giannis, so if you want to see more about a Giannis to the Lakers deal and what my opinion on it is, well, click on the video on the screen, as I think the Giannis trade has already been completed.